next scripting type, which is Suitelet. Now, Suitelet, let's talk about Suitelet first. So Suitelet is similar to, I would say, a custom, in a very layman's term, let's say I say very a custom page. Like if there's a need for you to design your own custom page, where user can come, they can get some additional information which is not directly available in any NetSuite forms or pages, right? So if there's an additional custom page sort of a requirement, for example, if you provide them one place where they can go and look for all the sales order information based on certain criteria. Like if I want to get a sales order list of sales orders for a customer ABC between between last year till date, or any criteria, right? For that matter.
Okay.
So now this is all dynamic. They can be multiple criteria. Based on the criteria, you get that information, and then you utilize it for any purposes. So in all these cases where there's a custom page or a custom form comes into picture, whether you need a custom screen basically to utilize or to get some information, to retrieve some information. So that's when the Suitelet script comes into picture. Again, Suitelet script is you have two types. You can have the form based to the front end Suitelet, which I was talking about till now, and then NetSuite allows you to have a backend Suitelet. The backend Suitelet, what it means is that you have the entire functionality, but you're not creating a custom form. It's just that you're utilizing it or maybe calling it from some place. You're doing all the action, but you're not actually creating a custom form or a UI. You don't have a custom UI. It's just a piece of code which is executed. For example, let's say I have a scenario that I have created, as a developer, I've created a custom approval process for that matter. Like, let's say if I have a purchase order or a sales order, before actually doing any activity or any next activity in the for that transaction, business wants us to take it from or the end user wants us to take it through a custom approval process. Let's say what I was saying is about this backend Suitelet. Let's say if we are designing a custom approval process where we want the user to approve any transaction before it actually hits the books. So let's say purchase order, right? So as soon as the purchase order is created, it becomes it goes as pending approval, and then we'll define the right user based on the whatever logic is there. But we'll have a right user, and the user has to come and approve it, and then only it will be an approved purchase order. Now we have enabled it. Now additional functionality which business or the end user needs it, like they can't come and log in NetSuite every time. Like generally a purchase order approval will be somebody higher in the hierarchy, right? So who is the final approver? So you don't expect that that user to come and log into NetSuite every time and then approve one particular transaction, right? And this is a regular business need, right? Now then additional thing, as an end user, you come that you allow this approve or reject option through an email. Like as soon as the purchase order is created, it'll trigger an email. You send the email to the approver based on approve and reject buttons or a hyperlink, anything in the email, and they can approve through email and everything. Now, in this scenario, backend Suitelet comes into picture. Let's say as an approver, I click on approve. Now, to capture that response and do the right action in NetSuite, Suitelet is the best option. As soon as they click on approve, you trigger a Suitelet on the button click. On the button click, you trigger a Suitelet, capture the user's response if they have approved or reject, whatever it is, and then do the right activity or do the necessary activity on the actual record. But in this entire case, you don't need a custom UI or a custom form to make it visible to the user. It's just that you just need to capture the response, do the right action on the actual record, and then save it. Simple. So in this case, what the solution you can use is backend Suitelet. We will write the entire logic in Suitelet script, but we are not actually creating a custom form or a custom page, a custom UI. So these are these are categories or a type of Suitelet. Both are kind of similar. It's just that you're not creating a custom form and custom fields and all that, right? Now, I hope you understood what is Suitelet and which scenarios we use it and everything. Now, the thing is, okay, again, I don't know if Netsuite is up. Let me quickly see. But any questions like on the understanding or usage of Suitelet?
So the scenario I was talking to you about, right, yesterday.
Right.
So in that scenario, how do we use Suitelet?
Right. So in that scenario, in your case, right? So whatever custom UI you guys already have, we can design a similar custom UI in Netsuite, right?
Okay. Yep.
Using Suitelet. So we'll create a custom form in the Suitelet script where you have all the fields based on what all filters are there. You have sales order number or date or customer. I don't remember exactly what all the options were there, but whatever options were there, we'll put them all as filter criteria, and then you'll have a button called search or cancel, standard thing, right? Search button or a submit button and cancel button.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they put the criteria and click on submit, it'll give you a response in a sublist form on the same page, right? So you based on the whatever criteria is there, in the backend, what happens is you create a page, you create all the fields in the page, you put those buttons. When they when they fill the criteria and click on submit, you perform a search in the backend, like in the actual Netsuite transactions. All the objects, right? Whichever object we are creating this record search for, in this case, sales order, right? So you put a search on the sales order based on all the filter criteria, get the response for that search, and then show it on the form as a sublist, right? Sublist as in a small sub form, you can say in general term, right?
Sure.
You show it as a sub form.
Okay.
And again, based on that, if you just want to show it, that is an option, and you can do additional activities also. If you want to send this entire list as an email, that option is there. If you want to download it into a Excel format or PDF format or anything, that option, all these options are there.
Oh, okay, sure.
Now, this is what Suitelet is used for. I do have a sample script with me, but I unfortunately this Netsuite isn't opening. So at least we can go through a sample script, and at least I can make you understand the basic basic syntax and structure and everything. And I'm hoping by the time it will be sorted. So Suitelet, create customer record. Yeah, let me open this one. Okay, so now the general structure is, I'll put it in a separate tab. So general, a very high level syntax. So again, it is here till this part, it is common across all the scripts, right? You define all the modules you're using and then take their object aliases here. Now, this Suitelet script has only one function, which is called on request. You have the same parameter, which is context or script context or anything. And then you have a return statement here where you map the script function name with the actual function name. Now, especially in this on request part, you have it is divided into two parts, okay, where you have get and post. Okay, so you can have a request method. I'll explain what is. I know you guys already know, but I'm just I'll put it in a better word. So you have a request method of get and post, and then So you now get and post. It's a very, the same programming fundamentals. So wherever you're getting some information uh, from NetSuite in terms of a page or anything. So which means the get part will include this. In this same example, the get part will include your entire pay form creation, field creation, filter creation, button creation part, everything, right? And then when you when somebody clicks on submit button, that's when your post part trigger. On the click of submit button, you'll have your post part, and in post part, what you do, you do the and you show them the results based on the search.
The post
Right.
part
So
is the
get part is basically when you're retrieving all the information from NetSuite. You consider it that way, right? You're retrieving the information from NetSuite in terms of you're creating a page and you're showing some filters, and then showing them all the available fields, filters, and buttons and everything. Now when the user clicks on submit button, click on a submit button, then it goes to the post part where you show them the actual results based on the submit button or actual activity, right? So when you, let's say in this case, in this same example which I was talking, you show them filters to retrieve the sales order information. They select some filters, they click on submit. So till this part, it's on get. When they click on submit, you already created a sublist in the get part. The sublist creation, everything is there in the get part. The post part is when they click on it, you get the field and you get the filter and all the filter information. You perform a search and show them the results in sublist. That's the post part. Now get part and post part, you have you can, generally the way we write it, like if the request method is get, you write your logic, or sorry, else if the request method is post, then you write your logic. So this Suitelet script has a governance limit of 1,000 units, 1,000 units, but it is like, for function, it is for different, both these parts, like get has 1,000 and post has 1,000. Okay. You guys can stop me if you have any questions. So get part has 1,000 units and post has 1,000 units. So this is the general syntax, how a Suitelet script looks like. Now,
I have. So you said 1,000 units, right?
1,000 governance limit. Yeah, governance limit 1,000 units.
Yeah. So if it is more than 1,000, does it throw an error or?
Yeah. Any script, if it is going beyond the defined limit, you'll see execution limit exceeded. You'll get an error in the execution logs.
So how do we handle that?
Now, in this case,
let's say
Suitelet, what you see, the purpose of Suitelet is that you create a UI, you show some fields, perform a search. So you're creating a search. Search is taking 20 units. Okay. You are clicking button, this add button, add submit button, and all that. Creating a form, basically, I think that also take 10 or 20. Okay. So I don't think it is going to go beyond 1,000 units. The only thing is, let's say if your search is returning huge number of records. Let's say if you are putting a search which gives you 10,000 records as a result. Okay. And you cannot show all 10,000 records in a single page. Like it'll become a huge thing, right?
Right.
On the UI, consider the UI thing, right? You cannot show all 10,000 records in a single page. Now, what we do in this case is we make it as a in a general term. I'll tell you, we'll make it as a multi-page, or we'll divide this entire response into multiple pages. Basically.
Okay, so you can so let's say one page is one sublist, right? So you can can you make a search criteria based on that sublist? So
when you say based on the
so when you search, right, you'll have more than 100 records. Okay, so on a page. Displaying, right, on the display page, if it accommodates only 30 lines, can you search first 30 lines? When you go to the next page, it go search based on, it's a dynamic one, or Does it search, if your search criteria has 1,000 records, it searches 1,000 records. Can you make it, can you make the search like, you know, in any web browser, right? Any ERP, for example, you take Oracle EBS, right? You can though you have search criteria which crosses 1,000 lines, whatever fits on the page, it only searches for that page, and when you click on the next, it'll display the next 30 records. Is there something, that type of functionality within NetSuite?
So in this case, what we do, see, there are ways to handle it. First thing, as a end user, you don't want them to give you, we don't want to show more than 1,000 records in this filter, in the result. We can anyways restrict the search to show only first 1,000 records, right?
Okay.
And if I'm saying that, 1 second, please. Yeah, sorry. So we can anyways anytime restrict the search to show certain number of records. That is obviously there. Second thing is, even though let's say we are retrieving 10,000 records in result, we'll show into multiple pages. I'm saying you're not changing. We're not creating an additional sub list or anything. It's basically page breaks. You have, in a page. Let's say if I show only 100 records, then if I have 10,000 records, I'll have 100 pages created. They can go to like any search thing, right? You have one to like in Gmail, it shows you by default 50 emails. Then you go click on next page, it shows you next 50 emails, right? Similar to that, we'll have this page break thing. We'll have multiple pages created to show the results. If they want to go and do that or have a look at all the records till the end, they can go to that page and then look at the records accordingly. But that is a very rare scenario because again, it becomes challenging to have a look at these many number of records. That's why any end user will put their criteria to be, they'll be very specific whatever they are looking for, and then they can get that information. Even if and again, if the criteria is giving them huge number of records and they don't want to look at it in the NetSuite screen, they can download it into Excel and then they can work on it offline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Right. Any questions, Kishore, from your end?
No, just good.
Okay. So now I'm just going through this one sample script. Okay. What we are doing here, we are creating a custom page where you have some email information, and email information is like you have the employee, you have the employee name, and then you have the custom records created. So what we are doing, we are just providing a layout for a custom UI where you have the list of employees and the number of the count of custom records for that employee. These are the two major fields you have, and based on these filter criteria, when you click on submit, it will create those many custom record entries for that particular employee. So there is already a custom record type created in NetSuite. Okay, it's just a testing thing, right? It's not a real-time business scenario. So what we're doing, or let me write it here. So we have two employee name, second is count of custom record. These are our two filter criteria, and what we are doing, create custom record entries based on these filters. So we already have a custom record type created, which has this employee name and other field information. Based on the filter we have, which is employee name and count of custom records, we are going to create those many number of entries in that custom record type. That's the requirement. Now, let's say if I select an employee called Kishore, and I say count of custom record is 2, then click of submit button. We'll create 2 entries with the same name Kishore and other fields whatever are there in the custom record type. That's the task. Very simple task. So what we are doing here now, in case of Suitelet, one thing we need to understand is this additional module called UI server widget, right? So this UI server widget module is used to create custom form, adding the fields there, adding the buttons there. If there is a sublist also, so we can add a sublist and everything. So this module is to basically to create a form and everything. So this module will be used in Suitelet mostly whenever you're working on a Suitelet. So you guys can have a look at additional APIs and everything available, offline as well. What all APIs are available and what is the use of it. So this is this primarily used for creating custom form.
Right? Yes, exactly. Just share question. This module is a server widget. So can't you use this module in client script and user script?
This module, or all the APIs in that module are supported in all scripting type.
Okay.
If you have a need, you can use it.
Okay. Suppose if you want to create any drop down list, so there it will be used, right?
No, any drop down list. You can create you're talking about creating a custom field and drop down list.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
You don't need to create it through a script. You can directly create a custom field and then create a custom list and then attach that list to the field.
Okay.
You don't have to do it in the script. That is directly doable in Netsuite customization.
It's a customization.
It's a customization. It's a field creation, right? You have created a custom field and custom list. That's it.
Okay.
Now here in Suitelet, what we are doing, we are creating an entire custom UI.
Yes. Got it.
So there's going back to the module itself, the server widget, right? Is server widget is the module, or under UI it is part of?
No, it's the name of the module. This is the complete module name, UI/server widget.
Okay, the slash, right?
Yeah.
There will be only one slash, right? Like
slash, I think this is the only module I have also seen where you have additional slash here.
Okay.
So the module name is UI/service widget, or generally people call it a server widget module only. And then you have all the different APIs available here, which is like create form, add field, add select option, add submit button, add button, add sublist, create sublist and all that. So all these APIs are available, which is relevant for creating any forms and field and everything. Now what we are doing.
This form, right? Obviously, you're creating a new form, custom form. So you definitely have to use a create form. So is there a create form without using server widget on a Suite script, on a client or a user script?
No. You can use this module and API in any script. It is not like you have to use it in the Suitelet script only.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But this function, this API called create form is available only as part of server widget module.
So okay, sure.
Right? You can use it. So if you, as I mentioned, I think I explained it in the earlier session, and I think I did mention it on the help portal as well. Any API you see, you will have a support. You'll have a clear information that which all script type it supports. Right.
Okay.
On the API information itself, you have a clear information that these are script type it supports. So if, let's say, there's a module called current record, which is supported only in client script. I did explain it to Kishore before, but since we are yet to cover client script for you, Shrikant. I'll mention that separately. But current module is something with current record is something which is available only for client scripts. But other than that, I think all the modules are available for client and subset both.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So there is an add button, right? Can this add button be positional? How does it position? Where does it position if you're adding it on the form? Can you specifically say it has to be on the right side, right upper corner, or anywhere in the form?
So generally, if you don't do anything by default, how it works is it takes the page layout from the top, right? You create some fields as a filter, like you have some fields on the form. So all these fields will be placed starting from left to right, like 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, like that. And then you have on the left side, because it is left to right, the alignment is always left to right in the script. So whenever you create a button also, the first button will be created in the left side, and then next to it and the next to it. That's how it by default it goes. But again, I can check and double confirm, but I am sure that you have a position option also in the same module. You can maybe change their position here and there, but that is I believe that is an option, but I can check and confirm that. Now, I mean, I'm sure we will not be able to finish the script in this session today, but just giving you a little, at least the get part, right? So till this part, I think I already explained. Then I told you this condition about method, right? So you have under this context object, you have request.method. Request.method will give us the method which is being made or which is being used in this current request, because it is a request response thing, right? So you have a request.method. If it is get, then we have this entire logic. And then if it is post, which is considered the else part, because there are only two options, then we have all these this entire functionality in the post. So we are setting the field value, we're creating this entire record setting, and then we're sending out an email also. So I'll cover that in detail. So you have this is how it is get and post is segregated. So this entire get functionality has 1,000 units, and then post also has 1,000 units. That is the governance limit. Now, what we are doing in this script is, first thing, we are creating a custom form. So you have server widget.create form API, and you just have to give the form name here. The form name can be based on the business needs or the problem, what exactly we are doing here. So accordingly, you can give a form title. So we have a server widget.create form. And then again, once the form is there, so you will see the title and everything. Then the next thing is to create add fields, right? So add field, this form is the object for this form, right? So again, form.add field, you can have multiple fields added. Now what it has, it accepts the parameters is ID. You'll have a unique ID. Then you have a type, what it will be the data type of that particular field. Then you have label. And then if you are making it as a list by record, or in general term, what you call list of values, right? LOVs. If you're making it as LOV, then you have to define the type as select, and then if there is already a standard list available, then you can source it from that standard list. Otherwise, you can create your own list within the script, or offline also. Offline as in create a custom list and then use it as a source here. Anything, both options are there. So right now, what we are doing in this thing, first field is employee name. So we have given the ID as cust page _employee, and then the type is select. So server widget.field type.select, or you can, in single quotes also, you can mention it as select. If you don't want to go with that, you can mention it as single quote select. So both of these things are okay. And then the label is employee name. Okay. Then now this is the part where I'm sourcing it from an existing list. So source, I'm putting the source as employee. So the employee with this name, there's already a standard list of employee, which is nothing but an employee record, right? Employee record is so it'll pull all the list of employees, and it'll be a list by record field. If we don't want to source it from an existing list, then we can create our own list of values here, which is our next field. So what we are doing next field, we have form.add field. We have given the ID. We have mentioned the type as select, and then label also. Then what we are doing, we are adding all the options. This is the API called add select option. What we do using add select option is we are creating a list of value for this field. So the value add select option has two parameters, value and text. So you have value could be a unique number or anything, and then you can put the right text. So in this case, we are showing number of count of customer records. So the value and text is same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that. So maximum goes till 10. So we have to show the value still from 1 to 10. And then again, with any field, you can similar to what I think what we can do in a general form. You can have a mandatory field, you can have a disabled field, you can have a hidden field, and all that. Same thing we can do here also. So if you see here, employee name dot it is mandatory true, which means we are making this field mandatory. Similarly, the other field also, we have select field dot is mandatory equals to true, which means this field is also mandatory. Now both of these fields are created.